Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sharielle if you're new, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Today's video is for the fellas, and I wanted to give you guys some signs that you're with the wrong woman. And this is part 1, and I'll get into my points after my intro. Previously, I've done a video for women and it was called Never Date Down, and I gave a few scenarios of how women date down from movies and TV shows and that we shouldn't. But I wanted to do the reversal because it was requested. And for the men, I'm breaking it down a little more in depth because women know when they're with the wrong man and they don't listen, but men actually listen for some reason. So the first sign that you're with the wrong woman is that she's the A word. Sometimes men can't recognize when a woman is the A word because men are sometimes expected to put up with things, especially toxicity, when they shouldn't have to. Men don't always have an outlet or a place to be vulnerable to talk about what has happened to them by women in past relationships. And I want to give you some examples of the A word that you just shouldn't tolerate as a man. The first is physical A word. You cannot tolerate a woman that will put her hands on you because she's a danger to you and to herself. A woman that likes to physically fight a man, especially a man that does not hate women, a man that is a good man, she is dangerous. Even if you know yourself, you don't even want to put yourself in that situation because one day you might snap and then you'll be the one that ends up in cuffs. A woman that likes to provoke a man or him has healing to do, she might have had the paws put on her by another man or by her family, and that's just how she's turned out this way, but it should not be tolerated. And it's different when you're play fighting. That's different. You're playing around, like some people like to do that in relationships, but when she's really trying to harm you, she's got to go. The second is emotional A word. A lot of us women like to weaponize our emotions to make a man do what we want him to do, or for a man to believe us when we're being manipulative or sneaky. A lot of the times we'll turn on the waterworks and start crying when we're about to get caught. When a man has a feeling about something, we're trying to hide something, or we just want him to listen to us and do what we want. Like say he wants to go out with his friends and we start crying. That's a form of manipulation. So if a woman is always crying or being overly emotional so that she can control you, you should get rid of her because that's not a good tactic. It's actually pretty toxic to do that. The third way a woman can be the A word is verbally A word. This one is really vicious because words do hurt and you do remember words, and men are strong, but you can really break a man down with your words and affect his self-esteem and just his whole personality when you have a verbally A word woman. A woman should never be downplaying you, should never make fun of your job, how you look, how you speak, whatever. If she's picking at you and just saying mean things, you don't need to be with her. I don't care how strong you think you are. Over time, that stuff will affect you, and especially mentally affect you. And that's the fourth way you may know you need to get out of there, is if you have a mentally A word woman. As women, we are really good at playing mind games. We're really good at affecting you mentally, not only with what we say, but with what we do. You can kind of see it in the talking stage. If you're talking to a girl, you text her and she doesn't text you back, but she might post on her story or on Snap, blatantly showing she's ignoring you, and then gets back to you when she wants. She may be doing that to see the power dynamic, like seeing what you'll speak up about or what you'll put up with, and that can translate into the relationship where she's playing mind games where you guys may be at odds. You may have just argued and she's giving you the silent treatment, and she may go out with her friends, not text you back, not call you back. She's playing with your mind. Another way we play mind games is saying and doing things that triggers you, that we know triggers you and pushes your buttons on purpose because we want to get you mad and we want to break you down and we want to make you upset because it's a power thing. We like that when I do this or say this gets him mad. I'm in his head now. So if you have a woman like that, she's got to go because she needs to heal. The second sign you're with the wrong woman is a woman that runs your pockets. I'll give 3 scenarios for this because these are pretty much the most common. And the first one is when you're up. This could be a case where you're rich or you're just doing well financially. You saved enough money where you have a little, nugget, little pocket, a little safety net, and the woman knows that. A woman that just spends your money up, you have to watch out for her. I know as women, we do like to spend money. We do like our man to spend money on us, so we don't have to spend our own. But a woman that has no regard for your money, especially when you worked hard to get it, you can't trust her, and it's going to be hard to build a future with her. For example, I've seen this NBA player. He married this woman recently. I'm not going to say names, but she spends his money like it grows on trees. I don't follow her, but people that I follow repost her pictures. So one time I clicked on her profile and I'm just seeing all this materialistic stuff. I'm seeing all these Chanel bags, all these Louis Vuitton bags. Every purse matches every outfit she has. She has a Rolls Royce. And I'm just thinking, I know basketball. He doesn't make that much money. She's spending his money like he's a max player. So I go to Google, look up his contract. He doesn't make that much. When you cut it in half for the IRS, and then you have to think about your agent fees, manager, and just living at that type of level of lifestyle, she's spending way more than what he's making. And that's the scary part. And that's how you know you may be with a gold digger or a woman who just doesn't care about finances. And finances aren't everything, but you need a woman that can stop, that has self-discipline and thinks about the future. And if she is going to spend your money like that, she needs to at least be knowing how to do stocks, know how to flip your money, starting a business, using her influence to create a clothing brand, something. She can't just be spending all that money at home and you're working hard on the court and she's just not doing anything. She needs to get to work. If you want that type of lifestyle, use that money, flip it, and then spend it. You're just spending it. The second example is a man that's trying to save money or is trying to pay off debt. We all come to a point where we want to change our financial future, and one of the best ways to do that is paying down debt, saving money, getting your credit up. And if you're a man and you're trying to do that, sometimes you have to pause on expenses, and some of those expenses may involve your girl. You may not be able to take her out to eat as much on dinner dates. You may not be able to go on vacation for a while. You may not be able to pay for her nails every time. And if a woman doesn't understand that, she most likely needs to go because she needs to think about your future as a man. You're doing something to better yourself, and she should actually be happy about that, okay, I may have to pay for my hair for a little bit on my own, but my man's about to be debt free in the next 6 to 18 months. So if she's not able to see your vision and get down with the plan, she's got to go, because that can turn into a real issue down the line if you get married, that she doesn't understand being financially stable and financially smart. That's going to put a strain on your marriage. And the third financial predicament you could be in, to where it's a sign you may need to let her go, is when you're down bad and she knows you're down bad and she still wants you to spend money on her. That is not a good sign. If you are in debt to the yin yang, every time your check comes, it's gone, and you're just trying to figure out a way to stay afloat, and she still wants you to take her out to eat, she still wants you to blow a bag on her, she may be with you for materialistic reasons, or she just may be a girl that just isn't for you. She may need to be with a man that's at a different tax bracket or a different lifestyle level. That doesn't mean you're not a good man or you're not worth having somebody worthy, but you may need to rethink the type of girl you have, because you want a girl that's with you when you're down and out and when you're up, and understands and empathizes with you when you need to cut certain things off. Because we all have those times in life where we need to kind of chill and cut things off until our finances get better. If she can't understand that, she might need to go. The third sign you may be with the wrong woman is if she tries to isolate you from your friends and your family. Us as women, of course, we want our man to ourselves most of the time. Like we do, like they say, they want to be underneath your skin. That's how much they want to be around you and love you. But it gets to a point where if a woman is upset or is trying to stop you from being around anybody else, especially people that were there for you before her, she is a red flag. That's oftentimes a sign of somebody who has plans to A-word you, because when somebody can isolate you and have your family and your friends feeling a type of way because you haven't spoken to them, and those relationships get severed, now she's all you have and she knows that. So when you're totally dependent on her emotionally, mentally, in these really like detrimental ways, now she can have you walking on eggshells, so you always have to please her, so she's always happy with you because now she's all you have. So when a woman tries to isolate you, or anybody tries to isolate you, it's for control. They want to be the only person in your life so they can control you, dictate what you do, and just be the most important person in your life through this tactic, versus you making them the most important person in your life naturally, which will happen when you have future plans with her and make her your wife eventually. But if she's trying to force it and make it that way, that's not healthy, and she may need to get a life. No offense, like a woman should never make you her whole entire life to even want to isolate you from friends and family. And it also goes with like if you have a bad relationship with your mom, or it's kind of rocky and she encourages you to stop speaking to your mom anyway, like, oh, you don't need your mom. She's not healthy. She's not a healthy person. She needs to heal, and she's projecting what she would do onto you. And you don't know how beautiful the relationship could be if you did mend things with your mom, or mend things with your aunt or your dad. You can't let people isolate you from your blood if there's a chance you can make things right and make it better. A good woman would never do that. And also, like I said, isolating you from friends, that's a red flag. Everybody needs time away from their significant other, especially guys. You guys need that time with your fellas. You guys have different types of conversations. You don't have to be on guard, like, protector mode, like when you are with your girl, because you're with the guys. Like, you guys are all protectors of yourselves. So it's a different feeling when you get to hang out with the guys, and it's just a benefit because when you come home, you had your me time or your guy time, and now you're back with shorty, and that's great. It doesn't need to be shorty time all the time. That's too much. The fourth sign you may be with the wrong woman is that she enables your bad habits. We all have vices. It's normal as human beings, but we also know what vices we want to cut down on or completely stop. That could be drinking, smoking, gambling, being late for events or being late for work, not exercising, and eating bad. These are examples of things that are vices that we may want to stop or change. And if your girl doesn't care if you're doing these things or not, knowing you want to change or stop, she's not the right girl for you. A good woman that loves you and cares about you wants you to be your best. So naturally, we're going to see your habits, and we may put our input on how you could do better. Say, for instance, your girl sees you play video games for 5 hours straight when you get out of work, and you've been complaining about how you wish you had more money or you need to find a way to make more money. Your girl's going to speak up eventually and be like, babe, how about you get off the game a little bit and find a way to make an extra stream of income like you've been talking about? Or if you're a person that's always late for work, maybe she'll tell you like, you should pick your clothes out the day before, have your lunch already packed, and that'll save you time. So you get dressed right away, you have your lunch ready, and you can go to work. That'll help you be on time, because I don't want you to lose your job or get penalized for being late so much. This is a woman that cares. She observes, she finds a solution or a suggestion to help you without nagging, and then she'll tell it to you whether you do it or not. But a woman that doesn't care whether you drink yourself into oblivion or gamble all your rent money away doing parlays, and she's just along for the ride, good or bad, she's a liability, because she doesn't care for you, and she probably doesn't care about yourself. She's just there for the ride, like I said. And you don't want a woman like that. You want a woman that will speak up because she loves you and wants you to be better. A woman that just lets you go wayward and do this and that, she doesn't care about you. And that woman won't keep you accountable. A woman that just lets you deep dive into your bad habits, she'll never keep you accountable. She won't be the person to help you achieve your goals. She's not even a person you can discuss ideas with, because she just doesn't care about anything. And the fifth and final sign for this part 1 video that you're with the wrong woman is a woman who acts single. Usually when a girl acts single but she's with you is because she thinks she can still get somebody better, whether that's somebody more handsome, somebody more tall, somebody who has more money, or somebody that has more notoriety than you. Yeah, she likes you and she's in the relationship, but her head is elsewhere because she's low-key still fishing to see what she can get. And the way she does this is through small little things that you have to pick up on. One of those things you have to pay attention to is if you post her more than she posts you. Personally, if I'm not posting anybody unless you're my husband, because things can happen even in engagement. But if you are somebody that posts your girl, if she barely posts you or she just reposts you the post that you posted of you guys, that could be a red flag. Another red flag for sure is if your girl is always outside with or without you. She may be doing things where she's acting single. I've seen that. Another sign is the way your girl dresses and how she poses. We know how girls dress when they are single and they want to mingle. There's a certain way they dress. It's a certain way they pose in pictures. Certain thirst traps. If she's posting thirst traps at all, red flag, red flag. Like, you have a man, you shouldn't post thirst traps as a single woman because it makes you look thirsty. But especially if you have a man, you're asking for somebody to swipe up on you, like to DM you. It's not come on, you're being obvious. Another sneaky way women like to put out that mating call that I have a man but you can still get me is women that post certain lyrics. We know when we screenshot lyrics at a certain point, if it's suggestive or talking about this or that, like I'm out here, I'm doing my thing. A woman is showing I'm in a relationship but I'm still mentally single, you can still get at me. Another way is through memes, reposting memes and putting laughing emojis. She's putting the laughing so you don't take it serious when you see it, but that meme she posted, she's serious. And this is a big one. When a woman entertains a man in any way, especially late night texts and DMs, a man should not be texting you after 8 o'clock. Once the sun's down, you know how men are. We're not going to communicate. Nothing's going to lead to this or that type of conversation. Like, you're cut off. If your girl replies to people, I don't care if it's on any type of social media platform, and it's late night in any way, you have to watch her because she has no boundaries and things can lead to something else. It can lead into something deeper. And all women know that. Like, be for real. When you're talking to somebody, I don't care if it's through Instagram and it's getting late, a man will try her. And besides late night texts and DMs, I really feel like women shouldn't text men in general unless it's an emergency of who she has to text. If it's the movers, the guy that cuts the grass, or her personal trainer, or has to do with business. Otherwise, why are we casually having conversations with dudes that like you? Like, come on now. As women, we know when a man has a crush on us or has always liked us or has interest in us, period. There's no way you should be responding to these guys. Like, leave them on red or just swipe their messages and delete them. There's no reason to entertain guys in any way because it can always lead to something else. So these are my first 5 signs in part 1 that you're with the wrong woman. And part 2 will come out right after this. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to, subscribe to my channel to see more and hit that bell notification to see right when I post. Share this with your friends. Thank you for watching. You are appreciated.